Welcome to the second episode of Elevate Your Gameplay. Today we will be featuring some expert infantry movement with the 1-1 Marines and Join Easy Squad during Operation Pollux, a one-life Milsim event. I am also working on an intro for this series, so please watch my intro for Building with Sully and let me know what you think to help me out. The Russians pushing up here are a joint unit from Join Easy Squad and the 1-1 Marines. You can see as they're pushing in that they're keeping a clean and tight formation, mostly maintaining a file so that they can try and maintain stealth. They are a little bit clumped up, but this is alright when you know there's no enemies and you're trying to be very quick. As they push up, they are maintaining a buddy system, mostly pushing up prepared. As they engage fire, you can see that they are staggered, one in the front and one behind him. The Russians also have players farther back. They are keeping most of their guns where the enemies are focused, and they are spread out so that they won't get blown up by one frag.
Grenade west. Grenade out.
There's a time for them.
Note the marksman tower that is fortified that was smoked out by the Russian grenadiers. This is a proper and effective usage of smoke.
Close to his hand, corner of the building.
I hear one of them screaming out for a medic.
This is why you never call out for medic. Enemies hear it,
One down.
and that gives them intel.
They're on the south side. They're pushing in the building right now. They're pushing in on the building on the south side. They're stacked up about 4 or 5 deep.
Roger.
Here you see that Sergeant Major Rufio saw the enemies and immediately got the fuck out of there. He didn't try to be a hero, he relayed the comms to his team and got back to safety.
Can somebody get the sandbag in front of me? Stack it
Got
up.
a man down.
Another one down.
Prepping
I have
nade.
a full squad on the south side. I need help. I'm by myself.
Oh shit.
Sandbags are hit hard.
Yeah, the sandbags need to get back, built back up. We need these sandbags back up pronto.
If I have to open up, sorry for your ears.
Oh shit, there you go.
Alright, there's one on the other side now.
Yeah, those fucking grenades over there. Fuck these guys. Prepping frag.
Grenade.
Frag out.
Always call your frags, good job.
I hear him bandaging.
Here you can see Sergeant Waters attempt to throw a grenade at the enemies that are clustered, but in doing so he walked past the wall. If instead he had stood on the edge of the wall and done an underhand throw and used the lean past the edge of the wall, he could have lightly tossed it while keeping most of his body under cover.
He hopped over the
Alternatively, he could have put a sandbag down and had someone dig it up from behind cover, and then laid down behind the sandbag to toss a frag over.
Oh, it's a bad spot.
I need that sandbag built up, yeah.
Oh, and that one.
I'll tell you when to stop.
Thank you
Yeah,
for killing
fuck,
me.
they got them bodies pinned.
Now let's look at the Russian forces that started off with a great start. You can see that their forces are spread out and they're keeping a good security on where the Canadians are. You can also see that Private Lawn is laying down where most of the Canadians are attacking from. However, they have been stuck in this position for over 2 minutes now in a stalemate. It's always hard to say what the exact best tactic in a given situation could be. They could have sent a detachment out the rooftop that they already feared of enemies and over to the fortified side, or even down that ladder to flank. However, that also would have opened them up to enemy fire for a few seconds while doing so, and the tactic that they chose did work out very well.
Smoking you guys, hold on.
Here the Canadians demonstrate improper defensive smoke usage. If you're using defensive smoke, make sure it's accurately in front of where the enemies are, blocking their line of sight, not yours. Smoking can also send a signal to the enemy that you're getting desperate, which may cause them to start pushing it, which happened in this
What you
scenario.
guys doing out here?
Thank you for watching Elevate Your Gameplay Episode 2. Make sure to like and subscribe, and give me some feedback in the comments. What video would you most like to see next?
Get a grenade over here.
What?